To PODCAD. Today we're joined by the one and only Mortal, an illustrator of OCAD University.
Graduate,
I might add.
Oh yeah, I'm gone now.
She's a. Oh, right. How does it feel?
Weird. It's weird. It's a different change of pace for sure.
And what does that pace? Is it like a do 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 do, or is it like a?
It fluctuates, so it like has a build and then.
Like every great metal song.
It's like a dark wave beat. Dark wave type beat.
But how have you been doing?
Honestly, pretty good overall.
That's good.
How have y'all been?
Oh, not a lot of guests ask that.
Yes. No.
It hasn't been
You're
good.
in your thesis years, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Rest in pieces. Yeah, it's
Brutal,
hard.
yeah.
It's
The
really
illustration.
hard. I don't miss it.
Yeah. Off the record. Even though we just started recording.
Yes.
Who's your thesis prof?
So my thesis situation was really complicado. I will say thank you to Lockie Reed. He really saved my ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wholeheartedly.
They're coming for you.
No.
Yeah, they are coming for me. We got to change the topic.
Yeah.
No, it was really complicated, because essentially, like, I had one prerequisite that wasn't fulfilled to get into thesis, and they didn't wave me along.
Was it like a mandatory illustration class?
Yeah, but I was also taking it during the next term, but because I was
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they didn't let me in, and so I was just like, I've been planning my thesis for a very long time. I even have stuff written out about it.
Yeah. So the
and
Lockosaurus, the
Locky
Loch Ness
boy.
monster saved you.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, for real. I owe him a lot for that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Even though he would probably say I don't owe him anything, but like,
Yeah.
he pulled
How
through.
was the experience of GradX? You know, how was your work received?
It was received pretty well. It brought on some really interesting conversations that was deeply appreciated. It was a stressful time, though. That was chaotic. That was exceptionally
Pandemonium.
It was pandemonium. Because I live far, I was lucky enough to be able to store my work at my friend Savog's cafe. Thank you, Savog. That was huge, especially since my commute by my last year was really long.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Savog Cafe. What was it?
It's the Bebop Joe's.
Are we speaking Simlish here? What?
You know, like Cowboy Bebop?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, so he named it after Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to be mistaken with bebop, the jazz
Yes,
movement.
which we're
Yes.
gonna dive into today now.
Yeah. Tell this is our jazz episode. Judging by But thesis is a very stressful time. But like you pulled through, and you got a wall, which is a privilege that not a lot of illustrators get.
I was really grateful for that wall. When I saw my name there, I was like, oh.
So
I didn't do
Thank you.
I'm asking every illustrator we get on because it's just like how what is the process for getting a space?
So I didn't choose where I was.
You didn't.
No. What happened was I went around the room and there was like tape with your name on it, and where the tape was would be where you're located essentially. And so when I found my spot, I was very excited and exceptionally grateful. That was super.
So it was just luck, eh?
That was luck.
Wow, because
I don't know.
Because in my
maybe it could be something else, but like I don't know.
Because in my mind I was just like I remembered your spot and I was just like, this is the spot I want. This is the perfect spot.
And then you almost reached up and took down her work, but you're like,
I had to wait a year.
It's gonna prophesize it.
Yeah, because I was told that I don't know if this is a new thing, or if they did it like that years before. that it's based off of your grades.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So you must have had great grades.
I did have good grades that year. Yeah, I
and
did.
that's exactly why.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. We're coming up with all sorts of theories of
Yeah.
how
Yes.
you get good walls at GradX.
Mark's stressing right now. He's
I
like,
am.
He's like,
I
I
am.
need the best
I
wall
need
I
the
can
best.
Because
get.
I don't, maybe you were nice to Lockie. I've never had Lockie. I don't know anything about him. He doesn't know who I am, but I really want that
He was
wall.
my independent study chair, and
Oh.
he did that voluntarily.
Damn.
Like when I say he pulled through for me, I mean he donated his time.
Wow.
you know what I found out recently about ISPs? The prof that you choose to be your advisor and stuff for that, they don't get paid for it.
I believe it.
They don't get paid. It's completely pro bono.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was too. He mentioned to me that like you don't like that's a voluntary thing
Yeah.
that he did.
It's like
So I
outside
didn't
of
want to
it.
waste his time.
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
I made a point of trying to pull through as much as I could, and with a 2-hour commute and you had to like couch surf and stuff, that wasn't exactly an easy year to pull through on, to be
Yeah.
honest. But luckily, I did manage to secure a job that I really wanted to keep hold of during that year, which was great. But then it also made it, there was an abundance of time being utilized
Yeah.
between work and school, and then the commute on top of that, because now I live significantly further than when I was at OCAD for the first 3 years.
You live farther.
So my commute for my last year was between 2 to 3 hours.
Jesus.
One way. And
Wow.
so
That's
when
a
someone
whole
would like
lecture.
when
yeah.
someone would be like, "Oh, I had to come from across town," I'm like, "I get it. It's an hour," but I'm like, "I don't want to hear it."
Isn't that great?
What
And
you're
it was like,
experiencing is valid, but like,
No,
I don't
they-
want
they
to hear it.
say-
I'm the wrong guy.
Yeah. Well, they say like if you live in Toronto, it takes an hour to get to Toronto.
It's true. No, it absolutely
so
is
it took
true.
an extra hour on top of that. If you want to go to the Grange.
Yeah.
But this like, okay, like for example, like the average person, like I spend like maybe 10 to 12 hours at OCAD. So you're talking like, it's like,
But you're not, the
I
average
had a
person
friend
does
who
not
was
spend
dude.
10 to 12 hours
I had a
and
friend
sleep
who
there
was
overnight.
like really, really sweet who lived in Kensington Market, and like she let me crash, and I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I wouldn't have been able to do that year if it wasn't for the support I had collectively from other people.
Yeah.
Sincerely,
Let's
that was big.
Let's
That was
talk about your practice.
my practice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So why illustration?
It's not the only thing that I do, but essentially what happened was I started out in drawing and painting, and prior to that, I really wanted to be a tattoo artist so badly. Ever since I was 13 years old, I was just drawing on lined paper, as many tattoos as I could. I had a binder that I'd carry around in high school, just stacked full of these things. And when I got into drawing and painting, I was like, yeah, this is really fun, but I think illustration would give me what I would need to fulfill other people's needs, and maybe fulfill the skill set that I wanted a little bit more. Though you can totally still do tattooing through drawing and painting.
sure.
Absolutely you can.
Just not as good.
That's not true.
It's just a different lens,
it-
you know. And
yeah,
you
it
got to
is a
do
different lens.
the sort of apprenticeship, even if you do want to
Yeah.
do a tattooing.
Yeah.
Did
so,
you ever end up like doing any stick and pokes or like?
During your time at OCAD?
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
just to pay off tuition.
No?
Well, I didn't. I did them as safely as possible,
Yes.
but I hate to say that, like, yes, I did.
Well, I don't think they're.
They're
like,
also like good memories.
Yeah.
But I also tried to be as conscientious as I could.
That's
Yeah.
always good, but I don't think like you're taking anything away from the tattoo artists that have no own shop and like. But I guess the reasoning is like, oh, you shouldn't do them because you haven't done the apprenticeship, right?
Well, also like it's a major safety thing too. Like you're
Good for
dealing with
you,
people's
do them
bodies.
Yeah.
Like there's bloodborne illnesses.
Did you ever
like,
do
you
one
need
on
your
yourself?
Bloodborne pathogens. Oh yeah, I tattooed
Yeah.
myself. Yeah.
First
Well,
client.
I mean, it's not.
always-
It's not like Dave Navarro is gonna come out from the corner and just be like, "Hey,
Hey.
stop! You are not the ink master."
So yeah, that's what made me do the switch on over, and
Yeah.
then I ended up working in 2 shops. One of them treated their artists really badly.
You don't have to name drop anything. but-
No, I won't. But like our boss would come in like screaming high on cocaine
Jesus.
at us, and
I feel like the culture is
Plastic.
really chill at tattoo shops. They're like really calm, lighthearted people.
Oh yeah, they don't have any
Yeah.
troubles with anything. It's just a nice, chill environment. You can bring your kids there. Family friendly.
Get them tattooed.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that kind of like rerouted the trajectory a little bit, and then I happened to, after like working a ton of retail, I ended up working in the library system, which was super cool. It made me go, oh my gosh, I love libraries.
Fun, yeah. So you
Did not think that was
work at a library now.
Yeah, I work at the country's first digital library.
The country's first in Canada.
Yeah.
Yo.
What did they get? Like the IBM, like
I don't know.
still there? Can I still like type it up? No.
Yeah, it's super cool. I work in the maker space specifically, so I like teach people how to laser cut and 3D print and
Nice.
large format
nice.
print.
That's
I
like-
thought it was like digital books, so I'm fucking dumb.
No, it's
That-
not.
I
They have
thought
the
the
book
exact
library
same
across
thing,
the
like, and I
river.
thought-
It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's just like a different framework for learning. So instead of like, you know how there's like the acronym STEM, we utilize like the acronym STEAM, so it's STEM with the inclusion of art involved.
Because it was the first computer
Oh.
that runs on Steam.
Choo-choo.
Like a hand crank. You work the hand crank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
That's,
wild,
how
though.
the laser works for sure.
That's
Totally, yeah.
And you also have some of your work exhibited there too.
I
as
had
well.
that exhibited as at a different library
Oh,
system.
right.
Yeah.
You're all over.
All
Running
over the
around.
libraries.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
Where-
That's
where-
what happens after OCAD. If you still have some steam left,
I see.
is
Mhm.
chugga chugga.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, little trains that could. That's what OCAD breeds.
It's definitely weird though. It leaves you in a state of flux when you're gone because the structure's kind of gone as well. So you have to now kind of direct yourself and propel yourself in the direction that you want to go.
Did you start working in the libraries
Last-
during OCAD?
Yeah,
Or-
last year of OCAD. So
Oh,
I was
okay.
like clinging to this job while also doing that wicked commute and thesis.
Are there sorry, like in your
Well, I'm just confused. Like, when you say library system, is this like something that I should know about? Is this like a big thing? that
Are you
I just, like,
gatekeeping?
missed
Are you-
out?
No, you should go to the library. It's actually there for you. I want to say this right now. You should go to your
libraries are all
library.
connected. It's like one big mafia.
Yeah, but where do I go to it? Like
the library,
Any library.
Coffee shop.
So
But like you do have
the reference library.
the reference library slaps. You should.
Yeah,
Sherlock Holmes room?
yeah. Go into the
That
Sherlock
library is huge. That collection
Yeah.
is massive.
They got
You should use
records
it.
too, and like
Yeah.
source images.
they have
Yeah.
everything in there. They have like old magazine clippings even. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, that's where Ali goes to
Yeah.
get his stuff.
You can scan your work there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big are the scanners there?
This big.
What?
I don't know. I can't speak
How
for
about a tattoo library?
the tattoo library.
It's just all the people with tattoos lined up. and you just kinda
All the
flip through 'em.
librarians have to be wickedly tatted.
Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be sick. I actually prefer going there. I feel like sometimes the library is a little bit too.
Too clean.
Yeah, it's just too chill.
I think I catch people off guard as a librarian sometimes. Like they don't expect me.
Is
to
there
work
like
there.
any uniform at the library? Surely not.
Like kind of.
Yeah.
But it's kind. The way I kind of go in is like corporate goth.
Yes. Indeed.
That's
Corporate goth. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
That's a new aesthetic.
So it's just so I don't get in trouble with the
Oh, okay.
overlords.
It's
so
actually a sub-aesthetic. It's a sub-aesthetic of I can't even think of the
a
word.
goth?
Business goth.
Business
business
goth.
goth. Business
Business casual goth.
Goth.
Yeah,
And then there's
you know?
the executive
The boots
goth,
can be a little bit
Executive goth,
longer. you know?
CEO goth.
Goth office siren. That's a
I'm-
combination.
I am a business goth of a Fortune 500 goth company.
Yeah.
Crazy.
CGO.
Yeah.
CGO. Chief
Oh,
goth
man.
officer.
But that's what OCAD is producing. CGOs all around the world.
I think like okay, so here's like something interesting. We are talking about tattoos earlier. I feel like
Yeah.
the attitude towards it has shifted though, right? Like more
It
people
absolutely
have
has
tattoos in the
shifted.
business world, right?
Absolutely.
Like I remember growing up, my parents were like, "Do not get tattoos below your
Yeah.
elbow, or you'll never get a job." And then I like go into every place now, and everyone's got like,
If you don't,
you don't-
you
yeah.
can't get a job.
no, literally,
can't- At
Now
the
you
hip
need
place.
You're not cool enough,
tattoos
man.
for your job. That's your resume now.
oh, you're not willing to take a risk and get something on your body
What-
forever.
and-
You're not going to do that. For
You're
the
not
company.
committed enough.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh,
what you're
yeah.
talking about. How can we expect you to commit to this job unless you have your face tattooed?
What you do is you go to Inkbox, and then you get like a custom, like the brand,
Inkbox
the
sleeve.
company logo that you're going to the interview for, and they're just like, this guy's committed.
I'm super committed to your brand. Look, my
And then
tattoo.
wipe it off. Wipe it off once you get hired. Yeah,
Yeah, I got lasered.
exactly. Yeah.
Got the position. No, you remove it after probation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
after
no,
probation, yes.
not immediately. After probation,
They start
you have to get a
noticing,
bunch
yeah.
of them.
Where'd it go?
Yeah. They start noticing that it's slipping like slightly in different positions. It's like,
It alters a little bit every day.
The
Yeah, yeah.
CGO comes in. He's like, "We are not satisfied with your aesthetic. Get out of the office."
But it's amazing, or what directions people take after OCAD. That's something that
Yeah.
I think we're all kind of considering as
Yes.
we're like
We never
stepping
know.
into the end,
Yeah.
the end times.
Totally. I don't even think at this point I have a particular goal either. I'm just kind of going with the flow and doing
Yeah.
what I'm enjoying and what feels as authentic as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it could even just be the little steps, you know?
The little ones.
Yeah. You got to factor in those because those become the big steps.
Yeah.
No, for real. For real.
So what little steps have you been taking towards your...
This is gonna sound like a little bit corny, but I've been following along with this book, The Artist's Way, and it's like the 3-part books.
Right.
And I've been doing the 3 pages daily. I don't do it daily. I do it almost daily. I'm doing my best.
Yes.
Right.
That's all you can do.
But to be fair, it has kept me on my toes. And then my partner and I, we will often go draw at coffee shops together. And those like little habits have helped me with bigger steps for sure, is just to stay within some degree of routine, because that's what you lose after
Yeah.
you're done
For sure.
school, is like that sense of routine. My partner has a really good pace for the way that they do work. And so they're gentle on themselves, but they're also regularly doing stuff. They draw almost every day, if not every day.
And they also invented their own language.
They did invent their own
Yes.
language. They've been working on that for a decade.
How
That's
did that come
crazy.
about? Was it just like, man, screwing?
They are a D&D nerd.
Was it like to like progress the game? Or?
I don't think it actually had to do with the game, but I will ask them.
So I think it's just so they can talk shit and people
Yeah.
know what they're
Oh
saying.
yeah, just one day they just
So
showed up
how
like,
much have you picked up on?
There's little symbols that I'm able to pick up on, but to be fair, like I'm only like so integrated, but I want to learn it more, quite frankly. We've been learning Spanish together though.
On Duolingo?
Yeah.
Muy bien.
Got
Me
that
too.
148 day streak.
Is what's the language called? Waltham.
Walthum.
Is that gonna be on Duolingo soon?
I can ask them for sure.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can make some phone calls.
That's where the money's
Hey, love.
coming in.
Are you gonna put your language on Duolingo? Just asking for a friend.
So we could all speak it.
That's where the bajillions are. So I feel it.
That's how they know they've made it as an artist. Is
Yeah.
their language is on Duolingo.
But you had a joint show with your partner at Northern Contemporary, and I
did.
went, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
What did you
Thank
like about it, Mark?
It was very. I like when you walk in, you get to see violent gore, and right next to like the permanent collection stuff of the gallery. And it's just like, holy crap! Yeah.
Not all of it was gore though either.
course, yeah.
Catherine's work had like some really interesting, like feminine, like biblically accurate angels, which was super sick.
Mhm.
Yeah. There was all sorts of things going on, all a little like creepy and fun, but yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah. What was the inspiration behind organizing that?
So
The amygdala.
yeah, the so both my partner and I are really big into Bloodborne, and
That's the game, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I said amygdala as like a sincere suggestion, but also internally I'm like, ha 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 ha. Let me do this,
Please?
please. And then they went for it, which was super cool. And so are you familiar what the amygdala is?
Yeah, that's where fear comes from in the brain.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's kind of what we were touching on was like the fear responses.
That scared the shit out of me.
He had to change his pants.
Do you have a favorite creepy crawly or a ghastly ghoul?
I like centipedes a lot. I know
Centipedes?
it's like kind of, yeah, they're like, I don't know, if you look at they're like, some of them kind of look like, actually,
Is it?
sometimes when they're in my bathroom, I'll refer to them as puppies to my partner.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
They hate it. They're like, that's disgusting.
Do you keep like any like what are they called when you stuff the animals?
Taxidermy?
Taxidermy?
Taxidermies or anything like that?
I don't think you stuff bugs.
No, but like I guess
Preserve
like
'em.
what are they called when you do it for bugs?
What is it called when you do it
Is
for
it-
bugs?
It's
For
I
just
don't actually
preserving.
Know yeah, it is like a
Yeah.
form of preserving. I don't have any.
they're called specimens.
Yeah, specimens.
They're minerals, Marie.
Yeah, I
No?
don't have any bugs.
Just the ones you find.
Yeah.
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 I do have like probably a bunch of little daddy long legs carcasses around because I just let them vibe, to be
Yeah.
honest. They're
You
just
should let
hanging
the
out.
spiders
What,
just chill.
what is it about them? The legs? You like bugs with a lot of legs?
Or they
Honestly, the
just-
daddy long legs are just chilling, so I don't disrupt them unless they're really in the way. Like, let's say they're in like a door frame. Like,
I
I'm
see. Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
like
they're
you
in-
have to move.
Yeah, they're in the crossfire. Yeah.
I want to go to bed.
I've had a daddy long legs living in my like shower now for like 3 months, and he
Yeah.
just chills up in the corner.
They just hang out.
I'm like, what's good, dude? It's
I've
fucking
had
chill.
a long leg daddy in my shower.
But, hey, that was-
What the heck?
How about bugs with no legs? You know, like the wigglers. And
The
whatnot.
wigglers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
wiggly
name an
little
example?
worms.
Like a worm.
Wiggly
I
little
don't know.
worms.
There's a few.
Like,
Worms, leeches, maggots.
Leeches kind
anyone
of freak me out.
here-
So do maggots.
Yeah. I had a
Um,
leech on me when I went to the river once. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I've
like
never
my
seen a
worst
leech in
nightmare.
I had
person.
two. It was in Portugal, so we had to like jump. There was like a bridge over the river, so we'd jump, and then to get back up, you had to like crawl up this like moss sort of part. So we'd like
Yeah.
crawl up, and I had like two leeches on my back.
Ah.
My cousin was like, oh, but they didn't like
Ooh.
connect right away, so I was like, got them right off.
Yeah, every time I'm in a natural body of water, I get a little bit nervous. Like, is there gonna be leeches in here? Yeah, I totally say that before I go in the ocean. I'm like, is there gonna be leeches in here? No, that's not.
the most badass leech story I think I have is I was camping with my family, and we were like swimming in I don't remember what it was.
The
It was a-
lake.
It was a lake,
Big
and then
ol'
beside
lake.
it there was like a
There was a dude
swampy-ish
named
area,
Leech.
and there was leeches,
Ugh.
and one almost got on me, and I took it off. The other guy beside me came out, and he had like a bunch on his leg, and he just goes
like,
oh, lights a cigarette,
Oh,
burns the leech right off
wow.
his leg, and I was just like, what the fuck?
That's like a
That's
life
a
hack.
sight. That's a sight to see.
I was
cool.
like 11 or 12, and I'm just there like.
Yeah, that's ingrained in your psyche. You don't forget something like that.
Like God, like he just burnt it off and it fell off, and then he was like bleeding everywhere, and he was like, I've got right back in the water.
And then just cauterize the wound, burn it again. Yeah.
And get the nicotine.
Yeah, exactly. Straight into the leg.
Oh,
yeah, that's my leech.
Well,
Story.
before that leech died, it probably got like the best head
it
run.
was just like
You know, just straight to heaven.
brutal.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah,
Especially when you're 11. That hits a very specific way when you're 11.
it just makes you go like, I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm gonna go swimming again on this camping trip.
Let's talk about art.
Yeah.
Your art is. I remember seeing it at GradX.
Yeah.
I felt very felt very Polish, very Bekshinsky.
I love Bekshinsky.
Yeah. Now say his first name.
Yeah. I can't. I can't even lie.
That's okay.
Yeah. His work was definitely like a huge inspiration, especially during like the last year. That and Giger. I don't know if you've ever seen Giger before though. Like I would not feel safe in a room with that man. His vibes are heinous.
Like, but what do you mean? Like you seen like a documentary or something?
No, like you look. Like if you pull up a picture of H.R. Giger and you look at his eyes, you're like, I do not.
You know, I actually don't know what H.R. Giger looks like.
He is a frightening looking man.
More than his art.
Is Giger,
This is for science.
The guy who designed the alien in
Yeah,
Alien.
the xenomorphs.
In what?
An alien.
Oh, an alien.
Yeah, he's
okay.
like,
and the dog too.
Worse than Shel Silverstein? Can I see?
Like the vibes are heinous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Biff.
Great art. He scares me, actually.
He kind of looks like Biff
he
from
does
Back
look
to the Future.
like Biff,
Like
yeah.
Biff. You know old Biff from Back to the Future 2?
I've only seen the first Back to the
He looks
Future.
like-
I'm really sorry. Yeah, even though it.
Pull
Okay,
up
I
Biff.
have to go
I will watch
Biff?
Back to
From
the
Back to
Future
the Future 2.
when I get home.
It has to be the old Biff. And we're going to see if it looks like. You got it?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah. That's it's H.R. Giger.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
So him.
Yeah. Bekshinsky looks cool. I'd have a coffee with him.
See now I gotta save both these photos so that the people at home can see it. Oh, see, there you go. Like,
Oh, yeah. It's 2 Gigers.
2 gigers.
Okay, that's
All right. Anyways,
Yes.
that's enough Giger talk.
Yeah.
Back to
Anyways,
the art.
back to your artwork.
Is there any paintings in the works?
So I have actually a few sketches going that are going to be done as paintings later on. I want to try to explore some stuff with like nylons and making them look organ-ish. Just doing more like media experimentation on canvas and wood panel. Lately, my partner and I have been working on a collaborative piece, which has been really, really sweet, really wholesome vibes together. And their media exploration has definitely given me a push to also do some of my own as well. And so there's some drawings that I have done up. I just need to get more gesso and good old Pyrol red. Yes.
And you had told me that you were working on a logo, or was it a band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for my friends at Gut Machine.
Gut Machine.
Gut Machine.
So,
Gut Machine.
what would you recommend Gut Machine to have as their logo?
Well, I'm designing it at the moment.
Right,
so.
but you know, like,
As
are
a
we talking
CGO.
like baby's guts?
I would actually love
over
to
a
do
pentagram.
something with organs for them at some point, but it right now
But they're
it's
gut
just
machine.
the word gut machine.
Oh, like in the metal font.
Yeah.
Are-
yeah.
are-
and I'm making it cunty as hell. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are they? Sorry to cut you off. But are they like? It's like Gut Machine. Like, we don't want any guts in there. We don't want to be too literal.
No,
We're
they're
actually
pretty
going
open
for-
to stuff. Like,
Open stuff?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I did
The queer punk band. Of
I-
course, they're like.
I did art for a band called Pushing Daisies.
Yeah.
And they told me after I submitted some sketches, it's like, we don't want any daisies in
That's
the art.
funny.
It's like, oh wow, then fucking don't
What, pushing?
call yourself Pushing Daisies. Yeah, pushing.
Like, okay, I'll put tulips. Like, well, it's literally in the name.
Should have sneaked a daisy in there.
Maybe it's just been overdone for them, so they're like, you know what,
I
that's
see.
enough daisies for now. But I think they should really lean into it. I think like they should.
They've since broken up.
Oh, that's
Oh, no
unfortunate. My
way.
apologies.
If they had a daisy in their art, then
Maybe they'd still be together. Yeah.
I have a question relating to your logos though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always super impressed when I see like the metal bands or like the punk like crazy
Yeah.
bands and stuff. What is the process of designing something like that? 'Cause-
Kind of chaotic. It's like really organized chaos, to be honest. I've actually been really enjoying doing the Gut Machine logo because there's, I believe, 10 letters. So there's like some really, like it's an even number. There's a lot of letters. And then they weirdly like have a lot of symmetry going on that I didn't expect. And when I've been working on the file, I go between like doing the sketch and then like also using the symmetry tool, turning it off, bringing it back on again. Because if it's too symmetrical, then I find that it kind of loses its charm.
Yeah.
But I want to also still try to make it pleasing
For
the best
sure.
that I can.
You should add like subtitles at the bottom, just gut machine.
They so their logo that they're using currently is like in the style of Evangelion.
The anime.
Yeah. and so
Elmer,
I'm like, I
fill
want
us
to do
in.
some riffs with that too at some point. If they would let me do like their merch design, I think would be really fun. Or if anybody wants me to do their merch
Right.
design, let me know, because that's my jam.
Should make us a
A new logo.
death
huh?
metal PODCAD.
That'd be
Great. Yeah.
Well, let me know.
Actually,
That'd be pretty sick.
We're wearing our most hardcore shirts right now, except Alex. Actually, that's his most hardcore
That's my most
outfit.
It's
very,
the indie getup, you know?
Very business casual.
I didn't even plan this. I just kind of like put.
Yeah,
this
me
on
neither.
and
It just
kind
kinda
of
threw
kind of
on
fits
like
the
a-
vibe though.
It does, yeah.
Man, the Sex Pistols ain't hard.
Yeah, they're not. They have a documentary on Disney. Oh my god! They do. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Well, Disney owns everything.
Yeah,
Fuck them.
even the Sex
And
Pistols.
they own the Pistols. Oh well, we were talking about metal, not punk. But we wore our hardcore fits. But in the pre-interview, you're a country kind of person.
Yeah.
That's,
yeah. I grew up on a farm. I grew up on a dairy farm.
What was farm life like?
It was. Oh, I don't even know how to describe this. It was really imaginative, but there's definitely moments where, as an adult, you look back and you're like, "Oh, oh, that's kind of bizarre." Because like I also lived like right across the street from like a senior citizens trailer park as well, so I would go around there and go down to the ponds. And then there's also like a woods near where I lived, so I spent a lot of time playing in the woods. I did airsoft.
Oh, that's
That's
nice.
So I left microplastics everywhere.
Oh,
and I'm so
yes.
sorry about that. I didn't realize as a child what kind of
Yeah.
effects I was having on the environment.
You know, that could have been your start to painting. Airsoft. Oh wait, I'm thinking
That's
of paintball.
Oh my god.
No, that's paintball.
We'll cut that one.
Yeah.
I thought that airsoft was like bioplastics though. Like I thought they.
Is
broke-
it?
I thought they
Now
broke
they
down.
are, yeah.
Now.
Oh, you think they were doing that back in like the 90s when they made those
I
things?
don't know. I mean, like.
It was
I
the like
hope so.
late 2000s for
Late
me.
2000s,
when I
right?
was
Yeah.
Late 2000s.
They should just
firing flamas at my cousins.
They should just make you shoot like I don't know, like chia seeds or something.
I feel like that's like such a synonymous thing with the country though, because like my cousins like they live
Yeah.
in the country, so I grew
Everyone
up.
had a
out there,
BB
and
gun.
they were all shooting BB guns at each other, and paintball guns.
Yeah, these
And
kids are
real
going
guns.
around on like four-wheelers way too young. To be honest.
That's life.
I didn't
though.
have one, but like my cousins would come and pick me up on the four-wheeler through the cornfield.
Nice.
Oh, that's legendary. That's great.
Yeah.
It's like
And then I ended up being gay, and then that side of the family kind of stopped talking to me.
Should get a four-wheeler out
Right.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, should get a four-wheeler out here.
So
Four-wheeling around Toronto.
can you believe they don't let you four wheel?
Let's drive.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Can't believe we can't
four-wheeler
have
comes by right now.
Vroom, vroom.
They all got four wheels.
Oh, that's true.
Anything's a four-wheeler if you're brave enough.
That's true, actually. You know, you think about it, it's kinda true.
Yeah.
So, how do you think growing up on a farm and living out in the country informed your sort of practice as an artist now today?
Well, when you're growing up on the farm, my brother, he was like 10. He's 10 years older than I. So I spent a lot of time on my own. And so I spent a good chunk of it making stuff. My mom, you know, like how there's Legos? My mom would buy me Ellos, which is Lego adjacent. in a sense.
Do like the
adjacent product.
minifigures look really derpy? Like,
They are. They're like.
I
they're
think I had
kinda-
some.
Honestly, bring back Ellos. Those were like a weirdly
I've
underrated
never heard of that.
toy. Yeah. And then I did a lot of beading,
Mhm.
as well as painting.
Beating?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a beating.
No,
like
not
Small
Beating
animals.
no.
No, sorry.
Hellos.
Yeah.
Um, And
Like that?
Yeah, those.
What?
let me see him. Let me see.
They are like truly
What?
a piece of the 2000s.
I've
Lakin, you kind of look like the
heard of that
Qui-Gon
before.
Jinn beating. Wait,
What?
That's
I
two
messed that one up.
Alex. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. It's
But I feel like most people who played with Legos are like in industrial design, you know.
yeah, but if you play with Ellos, you're.
Oh,
I had a
yeah,
cousin that was
illustration.
obsessed
Ellos.
with Legos. Like he filled a barn with Lego.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's why Lego prices have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
This is hoarding all the Lego.
True. It's awful, dude.
Yeah.
The Lego economy in Lego City has been going crazy.
Shout out. Got that Lego crypto.
Yeah.
Shout out.
They're gonna bring Lego crypto. It's gonna be like yellow.
The blue and gold.
Yeah, the One Piece.
One Pieces. Oh God.
Do you have a lot of animals on the farm?
So growing up, there were deer and cattle and cats on the farm that I lived on. And then there's like another farm that had chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. We, like, as mentioned, like we
Yeah.
specifically did dairy. After I moved out, it actually like made me vegan for a while because I saw too much. I saw too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the time. Unfortunately, I had to stop doing that due to like health reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it definitely like informed a lot of things growing up. Even when I found that when I moved to the city, I was really naive in a lot of ways, really open, just like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed about everything. Wanted to talk to everybody I could. Honestly, it was looking back, I'm like, that person was kind of ignorant and really wholesome.
Good outlook on things.
And then, like the sands of time, like also inform you a little bit more. Yeah.
Do you ever miss the country, or are you kind of just like?
I live in the woods again now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Under a roof, I presume.
I,
right?
I live in the sticks. I live in a bog. I am a bog creature. Thanks for inviting me to your podcast. Yeah, so I now have a lot of quiet time again. Also, my cats have a happier life, I've noticed, out there as
That's
well.
good.
Yeah.
They didn't like Toronto.
So I only had one cat when I lived in Toronto, but she was like only indoor, and
Yeah.
like it. You know what it's like to live in Toronto? Like you live in a box.
Yeah.
For an exorbitant amount of rent.
Yeah.
And so, I was squished in this house with a bunch of lovely people, and we had 2 cats there, eventually 3 cats there. And you could tell, like, it was a lot for everybody involved, including the cats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like in the midst of like doing all your heavy metal work, do you have to like also do some like country work? It's like, fuck, I gotta draw a fish and like a pickup
I'm gonna draw
truck
this rock.
I got
for this
hold on, I'm
construction
gonna draw this
company.
Man, I gotta chop wood.
It's gonna sound kind of silly, but sometimes I will like go out into the woods and look at trees and look at or even just like plants in general, and look at the lines that they create to inform.
Oh, that's
the
actually
logos
sick.
That's not
later.
even silly. That's super smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd gatekeep
Nature.
that one.
Yeah.
Don't let the other designers know that.
You
Yeah,
have to
well, you know
censor
what?
that
I
out.
really do believe in accessible information, which is why I work at the library. So,
Oh, see, full
Yes,
circle.
fair.
There
Yeah.
you go. That's-
collective information. So,
Yes.
If any of you designers
Collective
do steal that,
consciousness.
though, make sure to credit.
yeah, credit Mordo, please.
Yes.
you're gonna see like someone's like thesis next year in illustration. You'll be like, yeah, I like look at the trees and it like informs the lines I'm gonna put in my drawing. You're gonna be like,
it also made me look at like spider webs more in depthly as well.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
like,
could
oh,
see
how does like that
the
actually
spider web
constructed?
pattern here.
Yeah.
Nice.
you ever seen those videos of the people that like take a, I don't know what you call it, like a piece of like paper, like sticky paper or something?
Oh, yeah,
And
just,
then
like,
destroy
a
Somebody's
spider's
house,
home.
Yeah.
a spider from his
I'm like-
house.
They're just like, oh.
It's a
crazy.
cool,
Like imagine if someone did that to your
cool
bog,
piece, but I'm
dude.
also like, I really hope that spider wasn't there anymore.
Imagine if someone did that to your box. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they just
Yeah.
like took your condo. They're like, "Yup, nope."
No,
put this in the gallery."
I saw like a post like that on Instagram, just someone doing that, and then like in the comments are just like, because obviously they said the same thing, like, oh, you just took a spider's home. They're just like, actually, we make sure that the spiders
saw the same comments,
aren't there,
yeah.
and it's just like we make sure that the spiders don't live there anymore. It's like, how do you know? How do you know?
You
Maybe
got
the
evicted.
spider was on a mental health walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe they just went on a walk and you come back, you cleared your head finally, and then your home is fucking gone.
It's like it's not even like this like destroyed. But it's like, oh, I can fix that. It just doesn't
Oh,
exist
no.
anymore. It's just like
Yeah.
gone.
Well, you could buy your home back on Etsy.
Oh,
Oh man.
so bad.
Yeah, your home.
The housing market
The
is.
spider, yeah. So it's
obscene
not
these
just
days.
Toronto;
This
it's
economy.
the spider webs in Toronto.
Yeah.
as
Think
well.
about the spider webs.
Yeah.
You have to buy your home back from the web.
Boo.
Buy your web from the web.
That's number 3. All right, let's take a look at some of Mortal's work here.
My peeper
Some-
glasses on.
Yes, peeper glasses on, please.
Yeah.
Gotta be able to see.
I've damaged my eyes.
I understand. I'm wearing contacts. Can't see otherwise.
So many people with sneaky contacts.
Yeah, it's like you don't want me to drive otherwise. to
Oh,
be
yeah,
honest,
Fair.
you would be blurry right now.
So, what can you tell us about this this piece here? Future, past, and present. Or
So
perhaps only future.
that was in regards to the thesis statement that I created. So this actually acts in conjunction with the stuff that you saw at GradX. It's just like a different palette. So the thesis statement was technology is a magnificent tool that can have dangerous consequences. And so I was reflecting on the experiences of like growing up on the internet in a lot of ways, and also like where we are currently at as far as like a landscape goes. There's a lot of really horrible things going on, like honestly, like atrocities. And the internet, like also, it's magnificent in the sense that it grants us information to many things. Something I did reflect on in particularly is like also who has access like to the spaces that you are in. Like, you know, when you have a conversation with somebody and you talk about a thing and then it pops up on your phone when you're like
Yeah.
taking
Oh,
a shit
yeah.
or something.
Oh yeah.
Like I was doing a lot of reflection, especially at the time, AI art was like really taking off. There was a lot of like conversations going on about that, and I was having a lot of questions going on in my brain just about like the future of technology and the ethics of a lot of things and the criticisms about other aspects as well. So there's to the left of the middle piece, there's like the representation of like the future, and then also to the right there's like this elderly being that's like in a sense also suffocated, and there's just like this kid who is sucked into their phone. And when it comes to like technological devices, like at this point in time, like it's meant to make you addicted to your devices, essentially. Like people in Silicon Valley are essentially designing it so that you can be on there as long as possible. I know that there's also like apparently things that are in the works to try to navigate things in a more ethical way. We'll see what happens, because there's also like a lot of corporate greed involved with technology.
Right.
You guys ever get those like phantom vibrations and you're like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's so bad. Like I'm literally like working on my thesis and my phone's like sitting on my desk and I'll be like, I'll be like, oh, nothing.
There's nothing there.
And I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, it's deeply wired into you.
It's actually me unsending the messages to gaslight you.
And I remember like being
I
a
do it
kid,
every
So,
week.
thank you for reminding me. To
like I had like the good old iPod Touch at
Yeah.
like a really young age, and
Same.
yeah, and like seeing how that also affected
Yeah.
me growing up, and you can only think about like how it also affects like kids
Yeah.
nowadays.
Oh yeah, they're starting young.
Yeah.
I was looking at a thing last night in the U.S. In grade 7. They found that like 60% of children in grade 7 can't even like read on their own, and they struggle with writing because they don't know how to spell because of autocorrect and shit. Like it's fucking scary.
Yeah, and then they also got like rid of like spelling tests and handwriting.
Whoa.
I don't know if they like fully gotten rid of like spelling tests, but I know like some curriculums don't really do it in
Yeah.
the way that they used to anymore. Remember, you do it like once a week
Yeah.
of
Oh, yeah.
spelling
Yeah,
tests.
Yeah.
And you'd
The
cry
EQAO,
all over
right?
again.
Yeah.
I had to learn cursive, and then my brother, who's 5 years younger than me, didn't have to do it. Wasn't in their curriculum. I'm like,
Oh, maybe that was a good thing. Yeah. Who's gonna use cursive?
I didn't learn cursive.
To be honest,
cursive's way faster.
Oh, actually,
Like,
I did. I just never caught on.
see,
that's okay.
I never learned cursive because my teacher was like super old school, and like
Yeah.
I'd
Aren't you
go-
lefty too?
Yeah, so I'd go to write in my left hand, and
Oh.
she'd come over, and she wouldn't hit my hand, but she'd hit my desk with the ruler and be like, right hand, and I'd have to do it
That's
with my,
not
and it would
cool.
be all like fucked up and stuff, and she'd be like, I can't read this, and I'm like,
Well, what do you want?
Hey,
this
bruh.
is how I operate.
wants you asked for it.
Just let me
Yeah.
use my left hand.
I missed
my
mini
God.
recess, but
That sucks.
Wow.
That's actually not cool.
yeah,
You didn't deserve that.
no, and then it's like, you know, a couple years later, they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to teach kids cursive anymore, and I'm like, what the
I suffered so much.
Yeah,
How could you?
This is you're gonna pass the burden to your kids.
Yeah, they're not going to learn cursive for me.
Oh, okay.
They're fucked.
Just gatekeep the knowledge.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
So
I love this
kawaii.
one.
Oh yeah, I got some people really mad with the God Loves Gays.
Yeah, that
on
one
the
ca-
internet.
caused a ruckus online. I kept up
I
with your
got death
Instagram
threats for a
stories.
year.
A whole year.
A whole year.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy. Though. Aren't Christians supposed to be like loving and compassionate and
Honestly, some really are, but some less so.
Yeah.
I can also like, I do stand by the sentiment, but it also was like kind of eye-opening because some people like commented and they were like, "Oh, like if I did this in my country, I'd get stoned to death," and I was like, "Oh shit, like that is true."
The country is Alabama, United States.
Like, so as much as like I stand by the sentiment, I also recognize as like a major privilege to be able to like freely make this kind of art as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was polarizing and I had like people say some really unsavory things
Right.
to me, but like, you know, I still had the ability to do it. with-
Express yourself.
yeah.
Did you were you like mentally prepared that this was going to happen? Or did you know that this was going to be a piece that would?
So I knew what I was doing, to be quite frank. I knew what I was doing was
Yeah.
like controversial in
You
a
did a good
sense.
job though.
Thank you.
Slaying.
Yes,
But
yay.
I didn't realize like what kind of outcome I was going to have.
Oh, I see.
Like,
Yeah.
I knew it was controversial. I didn't understand like the gravitas of it. I didn't realize I was going to continue to just like have that nonsense in my DMs, in my comments. Like they went on every single video that I had on TikTok for a while and like would comment horrible things about me.
Oh well, I mean, like it
Yeah.
boosts the algorithm.
It boosts the algorithm. Also, like now I have a pretty thick skin. I get another one and I'm like,
It's like, yeah, like, little do they know they're literally like, still engaging. Like,
Yeah.
It just actually like pushes it more to the forefront.
Right.
You know what you should do? You should go on their profile, get a picture of them, and then paint them Yasufat.
well,
Spread the love.
there was a lot of people who were like commenting with like pictures of like guns in their profiles and shit.
It's always the same. Guns, trucks.
Guns and trucks and
Cheap
Beer.
booze. Yeah, cheap liquor. Jim Beam. Cheapest fucking whiskey you can get. I feel like it's like to get upset about something on the internet though, it takes a really, really like you must not have much going on in your life because
No, like
fuck, there's better things. to
Instagram
fucking do.
comments are just a cesspool. It's just the biggest cesspool of like misogyny and just homophobia. Every single it could be anything. It's like sometimes I'll watch a video of like I don't know, like a funny dog video, and then it's just like you know, someone will pet the dog, and then like the comments will just be like why does this man have painted nails? You know, just like I didn't even fucking notice. Like, what kind of keen eyes do these people have? It's people just wake up to
Do
be
you
mad.
want me to paint your toes for you? Like, are you just mad that you're not included?
Yeah, exactly, you know?
You go to their profile, it's just like him. Just like, here's what you would look like if you had painted nails.
And you just go on the profile.
I'm an
it's
alpha
all,
sigma male.
all cars.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the same fucking Honda.
I don't
On
remember.
the same old Honda Civic.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Or
remember.
Ford F-150.
With the spoiler on the back.
I don't remember who it is, but there's this comedian that has like a great bit about it where he's like talking about comments on Instagram and stuff, and he's like, every time I see a comment where someone's like, I could never even think about being gay and stuff, and it's like, well, if you're commenting about it, you've clearly, you know, you're thinking about that, so it's
Thinking
like you're
about
basically making
something.
yourself upset for no reason. Like
I
it's-
really hope that someone out there has like the cuntiest Ford F-150 I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's probably
Be the
yeah.
first.
Be the first.
Maybe that's the next step.
You have your contacts in, you know, just ride into town.
I did drive here in my little hatchback. Well, not here specifically, but to the
Yeah.
train station.
Nice. And here we have a member of Mortal Kombat.
So this is like from the series Hollow. Honestly, it's just a series that I've been doing where people have blasted heads. It's just fun to do. This is gonna sound really fucked, but weirdly therapeutic. And just thinking of different ways that you can modify the
Yeah.
head and
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird. It's
I mean,
my
like,
pastime.
isn't
I'm like,
that-
how can I make this head look gaping?
No, it's,
Like, you go back and you see like the work Dr. Seuss like put away.
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
that stuff's crazy.
yeah, but it's not like.
Put away?
There's a
So,
bunch of like unreleased Dr. Seuss illustrations.
that he would just like do.
That was the
know.
the midnight paintings.
The midnight
They're
That's what
pretty
they're called.
crazy. Like
Yeah.
Do
they're
you have? Can you pull them up?
Yeah, Lakin, you're
Pull
just
up the
pulling
midnight.
everything up.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
thank
I'm like
you.
never on my phone during.
Yeah,
Elmer,
you just-
pull up the midnight.
Just,
Actually,
The
can we
midnight.
can we have the midnight?
It
Is
just,
it
It's
is
the
it
midnight
public
show.
domain yet?
We just increase your like phone time.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like the
your
evil
Apple
Dr.
Wrapped
Seuss.
is.
Oh.
Evil Dr. Seuss.
Oh.
Well, I
that's
mean, like it's
wild.
not like gore. It's just like a
reminds
darker,
me of
weirder subject
What's
matter.
what's his name with the stairs? Escher.
Oh yeah, MC
Yeah.
Escher. Oh wait. There's a good one of the. Did you just sort of clear it?
Dr. Seuss, what?
Just pull up the midnight. Paintings,
Dr.
I'll point it
Seuss
out.
Escher collab.
That would be sick. The yeah, this one, the cat playing. Is he playing pool? Because
oh, I
That's
remember
wild.
that one.
Because
yeah.
if you look at the counter, you know they say cats have 9 lives. There's 8,
Yeah.
you know, kind of beads on one side.
Oh, there's one left.
So he's down to his last bout of
Last
luck, you know.
Hey,
I
yo.
think that's nice.
Yeah, this is like it's like real
Yeah.
spooky stuff. I mean,
spooky is
But
good.
but like yeah, that's
Oh,
another
right.
example of a blasted head.
Yes. So this is another one from Hollow. That's the most recent Hollow that I finished.
are you using watercolor or like what are they called? Alcohol inks?
Neither.
Neither. What?
Neither.
Acrylic on.
Organic pigments.
So a
Blood.
lot of the, I'm spoiling my secrets here.
Okay.
So a lot of what I do is like make acrylic behave in ways that's not quite like acrylic. So I will often like water it down. Now, something to keep in mind if you do water down acrylic on like wood board or canvas, there can be a tendency to have it not be as archival. So do as you will with that information. Though what I'll often do is I will like wet the page and then I'll use PBO ink because PBO I find is like really dark
Yeah.
in comparison to some other inks that I've tried. And then splotch that on.
Yeah.
and make sure that there's clean water as well, so that the pigment is right where I do put it down, and I just let it do what it wants to do, go with the flow a little bit.
Yeah, that's
so
the fun of
there's
it.
this moment of controlled chaos.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah.
And then I get a little bit more meticulous when it comes to the rendering of the actual
The little
being.
guy.
The little guy,
I
you
really-
know?
I
The
really,
cute little guy.
I really love like how much like texture is saturated in the background too. Like it's like
Oh yeah.
crazy, all the like lines and stuff. Like everywhere you look,
The
there's like
background
something to
looks
look at.
Thank you.
organic. You know what it looks like to me? It looks like you ever see those videos of like just spiders like bunched together, and then you like kind of poke them and they kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
spread. That's what the background
Oh,
looks like
thank
to me.
you.
Yeah,
Kind
it's
of-
really alive looking.
Thank you.
It's kind of
That
like
means a
those
lot.
like ink blots too, you know, like they used to do for
The
like
Rorschach test?
exactly,
The
yeah.
Rorschach, yeah.
I see.
Rorschach
a
be
child.
hitting, though.
And that was the second
see a
one
dude.
in the series. So what ended up happening was I made a bunch of different pieces of paper with the ink and acrylic water treatment. Sometimes there'd also be salt involved as well.
I've done that before. That's fun.
And I would just keep these around until I felt inspired to do the next one. So there's another hollow in the works.
Oh, so do you do like your
Good.
backgrounds first and then like respond to it, or is it sort of like a back and forth between like focal and background?
It depends on like what kind of scene I'm creating, but I usually like to do background first.
Yeah.
Just so that way things really recede.
Mm-hmm.
In there is like a structural logic that I am following
For
a lot of
sure.
the time.
And this one seems to be more rendered than your other style.
Yeah, so this was a piece that I did for funsies during my second year because there was a lot of work that I was doing at the time that I didn't quite feel fulfilled by. I started it, did the background, did a good chunk of, I think I did the hand and then a majority of the feathers, and I just left it for probably about a year. I might be getting the dates a little bit mixed up, but
Did
then-
your professor like it was like
No,
scared
this
of
actually was
the-
never
the
submitted
word?
to
No?
school. This was
It's
like
too
a
powerful. Too
personal work.
they're like I know him.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
Gary Taxali would say like your personal work will help keep you afloat in a sense. Once again, I'm paraphrasing, but I would try to do occasionally something that was personal while also doing stuff for school, which continued to help the ball roll, I think, even after leaving.
It almost looks like there's like a person inside the eye of that skull.
Thank you.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
see it
dude.
too.
Like it looks like
a
a
little
got
guy.
like a funky little hat
Just
on.
a little
Yeah,
guy.
I gotta.
This
that means-
is
like
just
a face mask.
means we gotta update our prescriptions. Oh. Wait.
Oh.
Could you go back just for a bit? Is that a bird skull with horns?
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's
see.
I can't
Okay.
remember if it's a crow skull or a raven skull. I'm pretty sure it's a raven skull. And then, yeah, I did the horns as well. The other day, I was looking at it, and I had a moment of, oh, right on, Ray. Like, the highlights on the horns kind of rule.
They're crazy good.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like they
For
literally-
second
they're
year,
twisted
I'm
in
like,
directions.
that's
Oh, yeah.
That's
not
second year?
bad. Yeah, I was like, damn, look at little guy go.
That's pretty good.
There's moments where there's moments like that where I'm like, oh shit, I need to make sure I do that now.
Yeah.
Next one.
Is there any symbolism behind any of the little guys?
The little guys or the little eyes?
Or I guess the whole, you know.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah.
So the piece itself is called Nevermore Perception. And I think at this point there was a little bit going on between the life that I had like out in the countryside. And I was around like a lot of organic stuff, I guess, is like a good way to say it. Like growing up on a farm, like you do see like a lot of decay.
Yeah.
And so I think part of what I was reflecting on was like my past life, but a lot of the work that I was doing, especially at that point in time, was in regards to complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And I think with this piece, there was a lot of coping and reflection going on here.
Right.
At that time, I was also picturing myself as like a little bird quite a bit.
Nice. Now that I like look at him more, like I see the almost like black feathers, like a neck warmer, and the hand as like his hands and legs, and then the dude's the little guy's head.
Little guy's head.
So, very good figure drawing here from life, I suppose.
Yeah,
There's a lot
I've
of
seen that
things
bird. I've
going
seen that
on
bird
in
before.
there.
Down in the bog. Yeah,
Hanging out in the bog, you know.
This is a
that's a
biblically
really
accurate.
cool background. Wow.
Seraphim, cherubim mixture.
Yeah.
Actually, the Jesus. was
Would you invite him
biblically
to the
accurate,
cookout?
It's so like purple on screen.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've noticed with this piece in particularly, like sometimes it will show up purple, but it's originally magenta.
Magenta.
Yeah.
I feel like this would make a really great like comic book style,
Thank you.
Like a dope back
Or,
piece.
like
A
graphic
huge
novel.
back tattoo.
Thank you.
No, I'm
Yeah.
dead serious. Like just like the angel figure, that'd be fucking crazy back piece, like spread across the shoulders or something.
I actually want to get a tattoo of like a biblically accurate Cupid baby, like Cupid Mayo baby.
That's so good. It's like the best, actually.
I want it as like a piece that covers like the entire back of my calf.
What's Cupid Mayo, baby?
It's
Oh
the
my God.
the baby on the mayo.
We're killing
Let me
your
get
battery
this one
here
out again.
today.
Baby on mayo?
Yeah, it's the Mayo
Yeah.
baby.
It's the
From,
mayo.
it's
Come
from
on.
what's it
Cupid
called?
Mayo.
The Japan, not the Japan. It's from Japan. Jeez.
I need to.
It's a really delicious mayo. I honestly I put that shit on everything.
Oh yes.
He's like, I still don't know what the fuck this is.
What is that mayo? I don't-
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Mayo baby.
Right.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah, right? Could you imagine that as like a biblically accurate angel? That'd be fun. Fun stuff.
No way. They sell like the Cupid baby like action figure.
In stores now.
Well, like articulated.
That's crazy. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Whoa.
He's
Oh,
so
we need to
cute.
get one of those
For the
for
studio.
our table.
But
Yeah.
biblically accurate.
Yeah.
We'll make it wings and eyes.
You
Grant
have
us eyes.
surprised and frightened me.
Pardon?
Your work.
Oh.
And I think that was your intention, yes?
I mean, I don't know if I actually have a set intention for like how the viewer is going to perceive it in a lot of ways. I just love horror. In all sincerity,
Yeah.
I have a deep love of horror. I'm weirdly sensitive to horror, which is hilarious.
Do you still like react to jump scares? in
Oh, absolutely.
films?
I'm very jumpy. You don't want to watch horror movies with me. I'll like, I get like compassion pains.
Yeah.
So like, let's say I'm so sorry for anyone who is like sensitive to like talk of gore and mutilation, but I'm gonna for a second. Like, let's say for example, you're watching a movie where like someone gets shot in the hand or something. I will like grab my hand and like kind of feel it in my nerves. Not in like an actual ow way, but like I get the sensation in there. So I'm very reactive to watching films.
Is it like only horror, or like what if you eat like a big burger, or someone on
All
the screen
sorts
eating
of
like
stuff.
a big burger? You
Like,
feel like
I
That's
will,
my
I cry to commercials.
yeah?
Yeah, I will cry to commercials.
That's like every ad man's dream.
Yeah, like honest, I I had a friend who was like they should put you in a room for when they're doing like film reviews, so that way they can see your responses because you're gonna feel
Yeah.
exactly what they
5
want
stars
you to feel.
from Mortal.
But,
Surely you can't watch
Yeah.
like skate videos. Like, you
Oh,
know.
I actually can't.
oh
No?
I try to, but like honestly, if it hurts, like if it looks like it hurts too much, I feel queasy. And I used to skateboard too. That's the funny part.
There's some like
So like, you know, everyone else is watching like America's Funniest Home Videos, like, this is hilarious, and you're like,
no.
Yeah, like even though like I would like watch things with like crotch shots, and I would get hurt on behalf of them.
oh god. But
That's good. That's some good
you
stuff.
know what, Ray? We are about close to wrapping up.
Okay.
And we actually never leave our guests empty-handed.
Yes.
But
Oh, wow.
we brought something so horrifying,
Oh, okay.
so creepy,
Okay.
so
I'm so excited, but also nervous. I love that
disgusting.
this
and
is happening after I just
terrifying.
mentioned crotch shots.
Yeah,
So,
it's a great way to end the episode.
we mentioned bugs. We brought something that'll wiggle and squirm. Stick out your hand.
Yeah, and close your eyes. You're gonna be horrified.
What is it? Oh, I love these things. I love these guys.
That's
Thank you for
that
a little
that
guy.
and that is for you.
It's a little
Thank
guy.
you.
Hopefully this makes it into one of your paintings,
Absolutely.
or slip it into the logo.
Biblically accurate.
Now you have
Can I
a
open it?
specimen.
Yeah,
course,
open
yes.
it.
Go
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
I bet you know
We got a
all the
little
tricks.
guy.
You can make
A
it
little
come out
guy
of
for
your
a little
nose.
guy.
Damn, I remember.
He's
I got
gonna
one.
make a
He's like,
great earring.
I saw
As
them
a
like
non-binary person, I think it's like the rule that I have to like turn this into
I-
some piece of jewelry.
last time I saw this thing was in like Rainforest Cafe.
The last time I saw one was like at Ontario Place in the gift shop.
I'm so excited for this.
Like,
little
All right,
dude.
let's get a little bit of
Little wriggle
bit,
action.
a little
Let's
bit
see it,
of
let's
wriggle action. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
We'll make it come out of your nose now.
Little guy.
There we go. A little good.
Oh, so wholesome.
But,
We'll leave it on
You
a
got a
positive
worm on
note.
the
Yeah.
string.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you so much
Thank you for
for
having
coming on the
me.
show. This is a very pleasant chat.
Thank you.
Do you have anything you'd like to plug to the camera?
Maybe.
Yeah, ceasefire now. Fuck the oil tycoons. Go to your local library.
Fuck yeah.
Collective
yeah.
community action and community
Yes.
care.
Metal.
Get to know your neighbors.
And that is metal as fuck.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Good night.